What if the most dangerous weapon in the world wasn't a gun, a bomb, or a warhead, but a 20-something kid from South London who can set himself on fire and walk away smiling? That's Phoenix. And if you think you already know his story, trust me, you don't. Because behind the cockiness, the firewalls, and the slick voice lines is a law that spans 2 Earths, a solo mission gone catastrophically wrong, and a moment where Phoenix came face to face with the one enemy he was never prepared to fight, himself. His real name is Jamie Adeyemi. Born and raised in the Peckham district of London, one of the most culturally vibrant, grittiest boroughs in all of England, he didn't grow up in a lab. He didn't come from military money. He went to a performing arts school. That's right, the guy who would become Valorant's most aggressive entry fragger studied drama. And honestly, it tracks. Because everything Phoenix does on the battlefield is theatrical. But here's where things get interesting. He was suspended from that school. The official reason is fuzzy, but Riot's own creative director hinted that Phoenix probably burned down the science lab. Not metaphorically, literally, because Jamie Adeyemi is a Radiant, one of the rare humans fundamentally altered by Radianite, the mysterious energy source unleashed on Earth during the event known as the First Light. His power? Fire. Pure, controllable, personal fire. He can generate it, shape it into walls, throw it as projectiles. And unlike literally anyone else, the fire heals him. He literally runs through flames and gets stronger. The VALORANT Protocol wasn't something Jamie applied for. It came to him. Led by Brimstone, a gruff former fireman turned commander, the protocol reached out after Phoenix's abilities became impossible to ignore. He joined as Agent 9, the youngest, the newest, the most unproven. His first major deployment took him to Venice, Italy, a solo mission. Stop a spike detonation. Phoenix went in alone, confident, cocky, and failed. The spike went off. Venice was lifted into the sky and frozen in place, becoming the floating island map Valorant players know today as Ascent. That failure wasn't just a mission loss. It was the moment that told everyone in the protocol, and Phoenix himself, that confidence alone isn't enough. The world these agents are fighting for doesn't care how slick you look when you flash. 24 hours after Venice, a new spike threat appears in Rabat, Morocco. This time, Phoenix isn't alone. Killjoy and Viper are with him. They push in, they fight, they defuse. But in the middle of it all, Phoenix corners an enemy. He reaches out to pull off the mask and stares directly into his own face. Not a clone, not a hallucination, a version of himself from Omega Earth, a parallel world that mirrors Alpha Earth almost exactly, except it's dying, running out of Radianite. And its version of the VALORANT Protocol isn't defending, it's stealing. The Omega versions of agents like Jet, Viper, Cypher, and Phoenix himself are the enemies in every spike round. Every match in Valorant is literally 2 versions of the same people fighting across the boundary of 2 worlds. And Phoenix, rookie, drama kid, fireboy from Peckham, was the first to see that truth up close. Up until that point, a lot had been kept from him on a need-to-know basis. The protocol wanted to protect its newest recruit from the full weight of what they were dealing with. But after Rabat, there was no more shielding him. He was finally filled in on everything. The threat of Omega Earth, the stakes of the Radianite War. Here's the thing about Phoenix that the lore makes crystal clear. The cockiness isn't an act, it's armor. But underneath it is someone who genuinely cares about his squad, who feels the weight of every close call, and who, despite being the newest agent, throws himself into danger so his team doesn't have to. He bonded with Gecko over sneakers. He has an ongoing voicemail thread with Brimstone that reads like a son trying to dodge homework. His mum was a firefighter, and he's never told Brimstone that, because he knows the old man would never stop talking about it. He and Jet are not a couple. That's been confirmed. What they are is a rare kind of friendship. 2 young, reckless duelists who push each other and back each other up. And his ultimate ability, Run It Back, where he places a marker and can return to it if killed, that's not just a gameplay mechanic. In the lore, that's the literal expression of a radiant power built around refusing to stay down. Phoenix doesn't accept defeat. He runs it back, gets up, and goes again. Phoenix started as a suspended drama student with uncontrolled fire powers, recruited into a secret protocol he barely understood, sent on a solo mission that literally destroyed a city, and then handed the most disorienting revelation in the entire war, that his greatest enemy was himself. And he's still standing, still flashing, still talking trash, still running it back. That's not just a character, that's a story about a young man who was given every reason to doubt himself and decided very deliberately not to. The fire doesn't just burn things, it shows you exactly who you are when everything else burns away. Jamie Adeyemi from Peckham didn't become a legend in spite of who he is. He became one because of it.